This is the Georgia Dawgs podcast on the Bleav Podcast Network.
Doesn't it? It did. Wilcox with an up and out. Wide open. Touchdown. Israel Troupe.
Snap to Young, drops back, pressure from the edges. He throws near sideline, and it's intercepted. Keely Ringo at the 21. Off he goes. 40, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30 near sideline. Breaks the tackle. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Georgia.
Good evening, neighborhood. How about them dogs?
32, 18. Let the celebration begin.
All right. Good evening as we record, or good morning as you're listening. It's the Bleav in Georgia Dawgs podcast on the Bleav Network. Also coming at you at Brinks.tv. We like to welcome you to the show. It's an ongoing celebration. Every Friday morning is a celebration, so we're going to let it begin. But I can't do that without introducing you to my main man, Israel Troupe. What's up, Israel?
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
We got a real exciting show for you guys. March Madness, as we record, Arkansas just took down Gonzaga, so we'll talk about that a little bit. Hopefully, you hit on your parlay. You went through Betonline.ag to do that. We are presented by Betonline.ag, so I got a great show lined up, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you about BetOnline. It's that time of year. College basketball is roaring right now as we speak. I'm gonna get bold again. I got a little bit gun shy. I'm gonna take a parlay tomorrow night. See if I can't hit on some, or maybe get some of these late games tonight. But if you're looking to wager this year on anything, BetOnline is your number one spot for all of your updated odds and info, along with great contests. And if you're in this bracket contest, you still got a chance now because another number one seed just fell. So you have a chance to take home the top prize. So what you need to do is head over to the website or use your mobile device. Sign up today. Receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code Bleav to get started. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games as well. BetOnline is where the game starts. So, Israel, if you look at our rundown, we got some I guess a little bit later topics to discuss. Some things happened while I was on spring break that I'd like to get to. A little spring football as well, but the most relevant thing right now is March Madness. So let's start there a little bit. We're going to throw you a little curveball here. I know it says welcome wagon, so welcome Coach Mike White, but we'll get to him in just a little bit. But Arkansas holding down the fort for the SEC, just physically dominating Gonzaga from start to finish. Just an incredible game by the Hogs. Zags number one seed going down. I saw this one coming. I thought it was not going to be a good matchup for Gonzaga. Turns out this is one of the few games I was right on.
Man, like I was just telling you just a minute ago, I was actually, getting on BetOnline, and I was going to pick Gonzaga. But glad I didn't. I was a little bit late. I just got done watching that game. Arkansas just, like you said, physically dominated. They were down at the beginning. But one thing about Arkansas, they've been fighting all year, kind of like the football team. You think they're down, they come back, they do some special things. So their head coach has got them rolling. They come down, take down number one seed, and, hey, they're in the Elite Eight.
They're in a great position. So I'm excited to see what happens here with that, and I think they have a chance now to roll on to the Final Four. They'll get the winner of the Duke game, which who's Duke playing again?
Duke is playing Texas Tech.
That's right. I couldn't remember. I was going to say Michigan State, but they already beat them. Duke and Texas Tech, that'll be a fun one. Texas Tech, if it's Texas Tech, Arkansas, that's going to be must-see TV for on Saturday. So I'm excited about that. So that'll be a fun little matchup. So when you look at this whole bracket thing, Villanova on top of Michigan right now as well. Arizona, Houston. This was a game that I talked about it on Beast of the East, and even talked about it a little bit last night. on SEC After Dark. This was a game that I'm very excited to see because Houston is playing so well, and Arizona, I think, coming in was one of the best all around one seeds in this entire bracket. So what do you think of the upcoming matchups? Which one are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to this Arizona Houston game. I had a brain fart for a second there. Because, like you said, Houston is playing really, really good basketball lately. They're a really tough team. They're a really savvy team. Arizona's had some scares. I think TCU honestly should have beat them last week. I actually have Arizona winning it all this year. But after watching them against TCU, I think they kind of took TCU lightly. TCU came out and hit them in the mouth. So I think they'll come out a little bit more fire because, Houston's a better team, all around than TCU. So I'm excited about this. It's basically a 1-point game, as Vegas sees it too. So, it's going to be really good. I think the Duke Texas Tech game is going to be awesome. Coach K's trying to win 100 in the tournament. So I don't think that they're going to let him lose. So those guys will be fired up.
Yeah, this is his last dance, so you have to think those guys are going to play hard for him. So, but if you look at the matchup predictor on ESPN, which these percentages are all arbitrary, but Arizona's the 1 seed, Houston's a 5 seed, and Houston's got their win percentage is 60.5% over Arizona. It's like you see that and it just makes you scratch your head a little bit. But I think when you look at it, Arizona's scoring a ton of points per game. They're giving up a ton of points per game as well, but they're both right around 50% from the field. They're all pretty opportunistic. They run the floor really well. But Houston, I just have a feeling that since watching Houston, I didn't pick it this way in the brackets. I had I had Villanova beating Arizona in the Elite Eight. But since watching Houston in their last couple of games, they've really, really impressed me with how they run the floor, how they, it almost feels like Phi Slamma Jamma 2.0.
Yeah, I watched them last week. They've been playing some really good basketball. And I'll tell you what, this St. Peter's team has come to play as well.
I'm looking forward to that.
They shoot the 3 ball well. You got an underdog team. They're playing a really good Purdue team tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to that one. And their coach, he played at Seton Hall. He's taken down a top seeded team himself, so he's been to the big dance. So March Madness is one of the. I watch more basketball during March Madness than I do the whole season. And this is a great time of year because you actually see teams play hard. Because they're trying to get to the big dance. So I'm loving every minute of it.
And what I really, really love about March Madness, and what I really love about like the March Madness last couple of seasons, is that they've really kind of exposed the one and done. Like if your team relies on one and dones, like those teams get exposed, and those teams end up getting knocked out in the first round. I really, really like that because I think if you can get more continuity, college basketball will grow in popularity. It'll be a much better product to watch, and it'll kind of get back to the roots of what it was in the 80s and 90s where, for a lot of people, college basketball was king. So I'm excited for it. I think some of these, lower seeded teams are really starting to shine through because they have players.
Exactly. I think, when March Madness hits, that's all you hear about. There's more excitement about college basketball during March Madness, unlike the bowl season of college football. So, I'm loving it. I love the way these guys are getting after it. And the best thing about basketball is that it's unpredictable. Most of the time football is you pretty much know who's going to win. Most of the time it's a turnover here or fluke play or something the other team win. It's very rare that a football team has a bad night, but in basketball, on any given night, you can get beat, and that's what March Madness shows you. We got a 15 seed that's in the Sweet 16, only the third time that it's been done. So, it's great for TV, great for the sport of basketball, and I'm just hoping our Dogs get there soon.
Exactly, and Gonzaga going down and then hopefully eventually Kansas going down will benefit my bracket because if I can get here's my best chance, and still may not be enough, but if I can get Arkansas and Villanova into the Final Four, and if I can get Villanova to the championship game, that may give me enough points because I'm still – and I'm going to check on it after tonight to see kind of where I am with standings-wise, but I think it may give me enough points to have a chance to win at least one of these bracket pools.
I hadn't even looked at mine, especially after this Gonzaga loss. I got to look back, but
let's see.
North Carolina kind of ruined mine.
See, I'm in fourth place. The Ravon Sports Bracket Challenge, I'm in fourth place. I had Baylor.
Ooh.
As long as I think the guy King of Takes, whoever that is, he has Arizona. If Arizona wins, he'll win because he's in third. He's right above me. But TSS Fantasy has Gonzaga. They just got knocked out, so I don't. Yeah, so I have a chance. Not saying I'm going to win, but I have a chance.
What you're saying, there's a chance.
I'm somehow in first place in this one. I don't get it. I don't get it. But a bunch of people just got knocked out with Gonzaga. Some dude had Murray State. Yeah. And then let's see, I have a family one. I'm in first place. I don't know how this is happening. This is insane. I'm in second place in my school one. So
you got a chance to win big.
I know. I got a chance to win 4 bracket pools. I like where this is.
Show me the money.
I like where this is going. I might get to bribe my private jet after all. So, but March Madness, it's raging on. I hope you hit your Betonline parlay as well. So, so now we're going to get to the welcome wagon. Okay, we're gonna talk about Mike White. Welcome, a hire that I didn't see coming. I'll be honest with you. Didn't know much about him. Didn't know he was supposed to be on our radar. The guy that I really kind of wanted, not to take anything away from Mike White, but the guy I really wanted just got hired at LSU, which I think that's a great hire too. So, but nonetheless, I think Mike White is going to bring us a tough, gritty style of play. I think he's going to recruit a lot better in Atlanta and South Georgia than Tom Crean did. And if he's even slightly a better game manager than Tom Crean, we're going to be just fine. Not saying we're going to win the conference right away. Not saying we're going to go to the Sweet 16 next year. But we're going to be in the conversation, I think. He's going to make us viable.
Yeah, I've seen a couple photos and heard a couple talks about him already. With the little time he's been in Nashville, and I think they love him already. One thing that I am glad that he's done, he's built that relationship with the Atlanta schools, whether it be AAU, and all the top talent in Atlanta. He's already built that relationship already, which is what we've been talking about, from the beginning.
What you got to do?
I think he's going to do a phenomenal job recruiting. As long as he, like I always say, as long as he gets some great assistants around him, I think he'll do fine. He's got to recruit Atlanta. Keep those top talented guys in the state, coming to Georgia, and I think we'll be fine.
Exactly. And, there's some talent around South Georgia, maybe, use his connections in the state of Florida as well, a little bit to kind of round out our classes. But, I mean, really in basketball, all you need to do is get 3 guys from Atlanta every year and just be able to retain them for more than just 1 year. And you're going to, you're going to be just fine.
Get you 1 or 2 5-stars and hit the transfer portal. Show them a good time in Athens. You don't have Katie, who's at Florida now, to kind of help you out with that. But you got a really good crew over there in the football office that can help you out as well.
They know a little bit about recruiting.
Exactly. I'm going over there. Hey, guys, what do I need to do? Who can I hire to kind of help me out, with the ins and outs of recruiting? Use all your resources. I think I think what Josh is going to do now, especially I know we'll get to about with Joni leaving. I think there needs to be some more money put into the basketball program.
Yes.
For assistance, for services, kind of like how we do football and every other sport. So as long as we get the resources that we need, we show these guys a good time, I think basketball will be on and rocking real soon in Athens.
Yeah, I mean, I think and this has been said a lot, invest in basketball. If you invest in it, you're going to be good. They've invested in tennis on multiple occasions. Tennis has been really good, although it slipped just a little bit. But I think these new facilities will help. They've invested in baseball finally. Look what's happening. They've invested in, obviously they keep investing in golf, and men's golf continues to crank out PGA Tour professionals. You sense a trend here?
Got to invest.
We invest big dollars into football, and Kirby does nothing but, deliver 2 national championship appearances, winning one of them, and probably in a good position to land Arch Manning, who I never thought in a million years would come to Georgia. Credit to Buster Faulkner a lot on that. He's one of the relationship drivers on that whole deal. So I think if I'm Mike White, taking this thing back to Mike White, I think I go to Kirby and say, hey, what is your strategy, and kind of how can I build that into basketball, and just pick his brain. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm sure Kirby would love to sit down with Mike White, because I think they're, they've got to bounce off of each other. I mean, Kirby can promote basketball a little bit, and basketball can, obviously help Kirby promote football a little bit. Every little bit doesn't hurt. So, I think you got to do your due diligence and pick the brain of Scott Strickland. How's he been able to get guys into baseball? Manny Diaz, how's he been able to get, elite tennis players? Courtney Coupette, she's struggling right now with gymnastics, but they've actually brought in a pretty good recruiting class, so we're going to see how that goes. So I don't know. Like, I like the hire. I think he's saying all the right things. Time will tell, but we got nowhere to go but up. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Exactly. Like you said, time will tell, but that clock's ticking, my guy.
It's ticking.
I think everybody's hungry, for basketball to get on point. The girls had a great showing in their tournament. I think it's time for the boys to pull their weight. And like you said, and like I've said just a second ago, invest in the sport and great things will happen. I think Georgia basketball is about to turn the tide, and we're about to have some fun in the Coliseum.
Yes, we are. And the Stegosaurus. That's right, baby. Mike White and the Stegosaurus, and then whoever the women's side is. But, going to that topic, Texas A&M obviously has just hired Joni Taylor right out from under us. I don't know the whole details of what it was, why this was, but, I appreciate what Joni's done during her time here. She's made a huge impact on all the players that she's coached within this Georgia program. So A&M's getting a great coach. I think they've done a good job of, stealing her, so to speak.
I mean, you're exactly right. I remember waking up on the other morning and seeing it. I thought it was a prank.
I was like, wait a second.
They just played last night, but apparently this has been going on for a while. Everybody kind of knew what was going on, which is good. It just wasn't blindsided or anything. So,
yeah.
But the search is on for a new coach. I just saw that the coach from UCF landed in Athens today, Aberson Henderson. But 2 names stick out to me right now. Jackson State women's head coach Tamika Reed. She's done a great job at Jackson State. She's a fiery coach. And the coach at Savannah State, Cedric Baker, who's done a great job at Savannah State. Those girls put a whooping on everybody. And one thing that he does so well, a lot of those girls are on full scholarship. He's got those girls playing hard. I'm talking about they're stomping a mud hole in people.
Yes, they are.
About 40-something points. Like the Don Staley of that league over there. That's him. So those are 2 names that stick out. We missed out on the Ole Miss head coach. I think Ole Miss pulled out the pocketbook to keep her. So back to the drawing board. But now you got to get a coach who can retain the commits we already have and who can also recruit as well. Jody did a great job recruiting. She did a great job of pulling girls from everywhere, from across the country. So you're going to have to get somebody that's going to come in, relate to the girls, relate to the program, and keep the tradition of Georgia basketball going on the women's side.
Yeah, just keep that momentum and take it to the next level. I heard Barker might be hitting the transfer portal too. So whoever gets hired is going to have an integral part in keeping Barker intact.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's going to be it. You got to keep those girls there. That's how kind of feel what's been going on. So it's going to be real interesting to see what goes on in the next couple of days.
Yeah, and I think we've got some good candidates in the fold. Katie Abrahamson Henderson or whatever from UCF. I'm pretty sure I butchered that one. Tamika Reed, I really like that one. I mean, I think, we can't go wrong with any one of those three. So give me any one of those three. We're good. We are good. So I'm just hopeful that basketball on both sides can really start to be a perennial Sweet 16, Elite 8, make a few runs at a Final Four every once in a while type programs. Men's side got a long way to go. Women's side is much, much closer. So couple notes on baseball. Got a series coming up at Kentucky. That should be fun. Jonathan Cannon versus Cole Stupp. Garrett Brown versus Darren Williams, and then Sunday is to be announced, TBA. So if you want to watch it, it's going to be on SEC Network Plus on Friday. Sunday, it's going to be on the SEC Network on the real one. So if you want to watch some college baseball Sunday, while you're planning on watching the Elite Eight, that would be something good there. Georgia comes into this one 17-4, 2-1 in conference. Kentucky comes into this thing 15-7, 0-3 in the SEC. There's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold and windy up here, up in Lexington. So I should ask. I didn't realize we were playing Kentucky this week. I should ask Vinny about how their baseball team was going. So, but
they're usually pretty sporty. They don't really scare me per se, but they are playing Georgia, which is a nationally ranked team, so they're going to be rocking. It's going to be cold, but those people are going to be in the stand. So I think if we can come out of here, with 2 games, I think we'll be sitting pretty.
Yeah, it's just win the series and you're good to go. Are you concerned about the bullpen at all? I mean, we took a 20-3 thumping on Sunday. Are you concerned, or is that just one of those every once in a while in college baseball you're going to get a perfect storm type situation?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the Vanderbilt situation last year in the championship game. Walker's on the mound, and they kind of figured him out. Baseball is just like basketball sometimes. Some games they're just on you, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
you're a little bit off. Your time is off at the plate. You're not hitting your spots on pitching. You get an error or two here and there. It kind of steals the momentum away from you. So, 22 to nil is a lot. But at the same time, I mean, as long as you regroup and bounce back, find the next opponent, go to work, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, you should be fine. I mean, I think they, obviously they had some good. They had some good karma back on their side Tuesday. 2-hit relief against Georgia State, so they got a little bit back on track. Closer Jake Gowan continues his role. Jaden Woods again as a setup guy. I think those two are going to be integral as we go throughout the course of the season. Luke Wagner is going to be called on to pitch some big innings down the stretch. He's got to get healthy. He struggled against Mississippi State a little bit. Bryce Malier, he's on the travel roster for the first time, so we'll see what he can do. It just, and I think every team goes through this. Every team, including major league teams, they all go through bullpen issues and have guys that are on sometimes and are not on So that's just the nature of the beast. Relief pitching is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah. It's like in football, you get a quarterback, you got guys running wide up, you just can't hit them. There's a lot of factors that goes into it, especially but in baseball, when you don't hit your spot, those games get real long and real boring. And I mean, it just seems like you can't get off the field,
Right.
So I think Kentucky's a good matchup for us. I think we'll bounce back. I think the weather, adversity right now is good for us. Because when we start hitting the Vandys and the Floridas and the South Carolinas of the world, I think doing this, getting thumped like we did on Sunday, bouncing back on Tuesday and hitting the series this weekend is going to be good for us.
Absolutely. And I'm excited. I'm excited that we finally got some relevancy in baseball. Since 2008, we kind of hit that. We kind of hit rock bottom and are making our way back up the hill. So if you're not on Twitter, at Bleav Network just shouted me out. This is there's only 3 hosts in the entire Bleav Network that had Arkansas in the Elite Eight. I was one of them.
It's because you're awesome. You need to play lottery.
I know. I should have went on Betonline and played that, but I didn't because I'm gun shy.
I'm just glad I missed it. My little boy was running around yelling "Daddy" the whole time, so I missed it by like a minute. And I was like, as soon as they lost, I was like, "Oh, thank you," because I'd have been real upset if I'd have missed it.
Yes, I know that would have because deep down, like Gonzaga just isn't battle tested.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they don't play in a league that's physical. As much as the SEC. In the SEC, you got Auburn, especially on the west side. Arkansas has been battle tested for real. With Auburn and LSU, Tennessee. In the SEC tournament game. So I mean, it's just great basketball right now, and I love it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm not even a basketball guy, but I love March Madness.
I know. I'm way far away from being a basketball guy. Like, I should have not watched a long time ago because I would have probably won way more bracket pools by not overthinking it. So I'm excited.
I just go with feel. I feel like they'll do well. And I just kind of ride with it.
Yeah.
Kind of bit me in the butt last week with my parlay, but right now I'm feeling good. Hopefully.
I'm finally
I need y'all to win.
I know, right? I'm finally that person that
as he goes and dunks the ball.
I love it.
Texas Tech.
I know. It's crazy. Texas Tech is going to be a tough out. They're real long. They're real fast. They're real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
2 back-to-back turnovers already. 4 points already.
Yep. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Coach K is about to go off here in a minute.
Coach K is about to lose his freaking mind. He's about to lose it. I'm about to lose my mind, and I think I like it. So, spring football has come upon us. We talked when if you go back and listen to the Welcome Stacey Searles episode, we welcomed him. There were some offensive line developments since we last talked. Some Xavier Truss has moved into guard. He's getting reps at left guard. Tate Ratledge is he's getting healthy as well. Obviously, Broderick Jones is getting first look at left tackle, and then Warren McClendon and Amarius Mims are battling out for that right tackle spot. So, and then Cedric Van Pran, of course, at center.
Yep,
what do you think about that lineup?
I like the lineup. I think Sims is going to step up. I think he's going to have to play somewhere. I think I saw an article where McClendon, he's been a vocal leader, which is great. He really turned it on when the playoffs hit. I think he was not really passive, but he wasn't as aggressive as I wanted him to be, especially in the run game. But he was really good in the passing game. But I think he kind of turned it on as the year went on, which gave him some momentum into spring football. So I think it's going to be a great battle between him and Sims. I think Mims I keep saying Sims, but I think Mims has to play at some point in this year. It's going to be like Russian roulette right now, and musical chairs, just figuring out, the best combination. Once you figure out the combination, I think they can roll. I think it's going to be a sight to see.
Is there a scenario where McClendon maybe goes? I'm not sure that I trust Xavier Truss a little. I don't know that he's a starter, but I think one of these tackles has to move into guard if you're going to get all these guys on the field together.
Yeah, I think at some point, we were solidified at center, which is the most important position on the field. Because he snaps the ball every single time. But I think at your tackles, I think you got to figure out can we protect, can we set the edge, and things like that. So, if one can't do it, now you just switch McClendon over. I think he'll be good at left. And then you put Mims over at right, and you just roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm whatever Coach Searles decides to do. I mean, he's got his work cut out for him, obviously, and he's still trying to get to know these guys. So, whatever you see during the spring is probably not going to be anywhere close to what the starting lineup is going to be, and it's not even close to being decided yet. So, I think the people getting their panties in a bunch that Amarius Mims is not one of the starting tackles. It's a little bit premature.
Yeah, I think if he didn't show too much last year. I think he's still being evaluated right now, but a lot of that comes from the head man, who watches it every day. So if he didn't see it last year in him, and he's kind of seeing it now, he still has to build that trust, especially with the offensive line. So, they got to protect. Number one, got to protect. We got to establish and run. Mm-hmm. What five combination, gives us that? So I think the spring is going to be good. The spring is going to be telling. I think if they compete, like Coach Kirby wants them to do every day, I think it's going to be really, really fun to watch his offensive line grow together under the leadership of Stacey Searles now.
You know what's crazy is that there's 19 early enrollees getting involved in practice.
That's great. It's very rare that you see that, but it's great. One thing I love about this coaching staff is they're not scared to play freshmen.
No, they're not.
And I think that if you can get a freshman come in and compete, you take your lumps already, and then after that, when he's a sophomore, he's a junior, he's ready to go. So I'm totally fine with that. If they can ball, they can ball.
Yeah.
So let the boys play.
Let them rock and roll. But, some guys that are going to have some really big shoes to fill, and we talked about this with Coach Fran Brown, is Kamari Laster, Nyland Green, and Dalen Everett. They're taking a lot of reps with the ones and twos. They're taking advantage of, I guess you could call it depth concerns. I guess you have to have I guess media people have to find concerns somewhere. So I guess DB is the first place to look. They're going to be just fine. There's going to be plenty of guys that can play. They might not be as consistent as the group that just left us, but they're going to be just fine, especially at corner. Kamari Laster is extremely talented. Nyland Green comes in with, they all got the physical tools and the aggressiveness. And Fran Brown is, I feel like, is a perfect person to develop him. He's on track to be a head coach in the very near future. He was an associate head coach under Greg Schiano at Rutgers. I know they thought a lot of him in that program. He's one of the reasons why that Rutgers defense was pretty tough and pretty gnarly. Unfortunately, Rutgers is Rutgers, and they play in the Big Ten, so their record and some of their games didn't reflect how tough they played and how much of a pain in the ass they were for other teams. So, I think you're going to see a little bit of that with this group.
Yeah, I think we know one corner position is already locked up at Ringo. We know that. He's coming back. He's going to be a sophomore, and he's going to be ready. He's going to be hungry when he comes back. The other corner, I think last year and Nyland going to have to battle it out. And I think that whoever's the most consistent, whichever one can tackle, I think that's most important because we live in a world of bubble screens.
Yeah,
bubble screens and outside run. So
gotta be physical,
and who can play man? Because we know Keeley can. Whoever can play man, take some stress off the safety a little bit. I think, it's going to win that spot. And if not, you can use the other one at star. You can possibly move one to safety. I mean, I think there's a lot of combinations, in which you can get all those guys on the field.
Yeah, no doubt. So before we continue on with our spring football stuff, we're going to talk about the quarterbacks here in just a second. But I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you about one of our newer sponsors. They're not our newest sponsor because they've been with us for a little bit now. But I'm gonna let you kind of talk about this. I'm gonna kind of tell you what it's all about, and I'm gonna let you kind of give the product review, and I'm gonna do the same after I order mine. So, and that company I'm talking about is Athletic Greens. Tons of people take multivitamins, of course, but it's important to choose one that's top quality. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to start your day right. Their special blends of ingredients supports your gut health, nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's also lifestyle-friendly, fits a wide range of diets. There's only 1 gram of sugar, no chemicals or artificial anything. So reclaim your health. Arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 free year of a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Man, that's pretty good. So all you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Bleav. That's BLEAV. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Bleav. Athletic Greens, take ownership of your health. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So, Israel, when we talk about Athletic Greens, I saw you post it when you first got it. You've been using it for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel?
Man, it's awesome. We've started our early morning workouts, 6:30 morning. I take it on the way to workouts. It's great. I advise if you do get it, do not mix it with milk.
Milk is a bad choice. Oh yeah,
no, don't do it. It just kind of clumps up a little bit, but water's great. It's not very earthy. How it's Athletic Greens, yeah. But the first taste is going to be, this is very green, but it has a fruity aftertaste. It doesn't have a bad aftertaste at all. And it keeps me going throughout the day, and you start to notice little things as you go along. I can't grow a beard, I can't grow a full beard kind of like Corey can. But, after taking after these, 2 weeks now, starting to come in, my hair grows. I love it. The month subscription. So I'll get back here in a couple. Do your review from these last couple weeks, I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm excited, man. I think I need to improve my gut health. Of course, Huck is going to make me age way more, and just focus. I just haven't been real focused lately. I just need more energy. I just need a boost, man. I don't necessarily need the beard health here. I don't really need any support there. See, I think your wife is probably going to be like, probably for football season, because you don't shave for the entire football season. You're going to have one of those ZZ Top beards, it's like comes down to here. We just hired our D-line coach, and he has one of these beards. He's campus support. He has a beard that comes down to here. It's glorious, man. And of course, he's got like real short hair on the top. It's all on his face.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to the Grizz.
There you go.
Trying to get my Rick Ross on here.
There you go.
But yeah, I love the before. I don't know, one of my new injuries to my knee here. And I wasn't the degree. I haven't had to take a break, and I had the knees because the pollen started. Gut talks about gut. It really hurts. No ups or anything like that. So, it's what if you order the product.
Yeah.
you or the product.
Yeah, for sure. So check it out. Athletic Greens. You gotta take command of your health. Going back to quarterbacks and spring football. One of the things that's interesting. Obviously, Stetson Bennett comes back. He was the subject of a Jeopardy question, but I want to talk about the guys behind him. Talk about the future of the position. Carson Beck comes back as the other veteran. Then you have Brock Vandagriff and Gunnar Stockton in the mix as well. All these guys are progressing quite nicely. Which one of these do we honestly think is going to emerge as the number two?
I think Carson Beck. We saw him throw to George Pickens, at Pro Day. That's who George picked. So I think it's going to be Beck as long as he can, keep it rolling. But I'm interested to see these two youngsters and Vandagriff and Gunnar Stockton. I'm interested to see, how they come in and compete.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's Carson Beck. I think it's going to be a really good battle between Carson Beck and Stetson Bennett. Of course, Stetson Bennett kind of gets the nod already because he is our national championship quarterback. But judging from his press conference the other day, Kirby, kind of lit a fire up under him saying, hey, son, it's not just your position. You're still going to have to compete for it. And I think he embraces that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hope we don't lose Carson Beck simply because, Stetson's starting. Even if, Stetson finishes out the year this year, I think Carson still has two more. And Vandagriff and Gunnar still have, four more because they'll.
Gunner's brand new. So Gunner has 4. Brock has 5, or Brock may have 4 too, because Brock may have taken a red shirt because he didn't play.
We'll be set at quarterback, and if Arch Manning comes in as well, I think we'll have a slew of quarterbacks, to go after. So it's going to be a tight race. I think it's Stetson's job to lose, but I think if Carson Beck does what he's supposed to do, I think he'll push it. Which, if you got a quarterback behind the starter, I mean, that just makes your starter even that much better.
Yeah, because Stetson's not going to be able to sit back and be comfortable. I think that's part of what made Jake Fromm not as effective in 2019 because
what made him not effective.
He didn't have any competition. Yeah, he wasn't in danger. In 2017, he was in danger. In 2018, he definitely was. And I'm not so sure that if Justin Fields sticks around, that Justin Fields is not the starter in 2019. A, B, with the disastrous hiring of James Coley as offensive coordinator, I don't know that Justin Fields plays up to his potential either. So, but I think you have to have that competition if you're going to play up to a high level, and you got to have that constant. Hey, I better be on my game, because if not, this guy right over here, 15, 12, or 14, whatever number Gunner's going to be, one of these guys is going to take my job. And you do not want that to happen.
3 bona fide quarterback gurus in the room, and Monken, Bobo, and Buster Faulkner.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason for the quarterbacks to, falter by any means.
Right.
And I definitely don't think that's going to happen. I mean, there's a reason why there's 3 quarterback guys, 3 proven offensive coordinators in that room.
Exactly. And Buster is probably out of those 3, obviously the best recruiter, followed by Bobo, and then of course Monken. But I'm excited to kind of see how the quarterback room unfolds. I think it's going to be good. I think you're going to get a lot of solid things. You're going to get a great competition. I can't wait to read about these scrimmages they're going to have. I can't wait to watch G-Day and just kind of see how these guys play. So I'm good with it. So, but we're that timer is ticking down. We've got under a minute, and I'm not talking about under a minute in relation to the NCAA March Madness, where it's actually 30 minutes. But so we got about a minute 45 left. I saw a thing. David Cutcliffe has a new gig. Have you seen this?
I saw that. He's going to be kind of the SEC liaison for relations and things like that, which I think the SEC needs.
Yeah.
and you got a guy who's had NFL ties. He's been in the ACC, and I think he'll do well in the SEC as far as the leadership role that he's in. I think you got to have a guy that can kind of speak to the teams, kind of see what's going on. Greg Sankey, he's the commissioner and everything, but he can't be everywhere at one time. And I think it's great to have a guy who can go into these places and kind of see what's going on.
Right. So that'll be a perfect role for him. I think he'll be, this would be a good second career for old Coach Cut. I think they're going to make Ed Orgeron the director liaison between Greek life and the SEC.
Yeah, because he's partying it up on spring break, baby.
Yeah, he's partying up and mixing it up, apparently.
Yeah, I just hope I look like him when I get that age, because he's ripped up, baby.
You guy's buff, man. He's like 50-something, right?
Yes.
I'm working on it.
He's still getting after it.
I'm working on it. I'm not anywhere near buff right now. My arms are buff, but I need to get where I have a 6-pack, walking around with a 6-pack. So
just go play basketball with your kids like I do. Get your cardio in.
I know, right? I need to do that more. We played ultimate frisbee today in PE. So, see, the thing is, I have PE every other day. Mm-hmm. It's not like your school where you probably have it every day. Or I'm not a full-time PE teacher. Yeah, that's not me. I wish I was, but it's not me. So
I commend all you real teachers. I'm a real teacher, but I'm not a real teacher, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're a real teacher, but not. Yeah, you get to wear. I understand. I know, because I have a foot in both worlds. But then again, I teach film and TV. So am I really a real teacher? No,
you
not
teach
really.
Some cool stuff.
Yeah, but real teachers are like English, math, history, science.
Stuff that I don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, stuff. Kids enjoy coming to my class for my content, not necessarily me, but my content. We have some of the best English teachers in the world, but you wouldn't know it because the kids hate English.
I was one of them.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, my 12th grade English teacher was as long as I kept the bulletin board out in the main hallway full of newspaper articles, I was going to get my A. So that came very easy to me. We have a really cool science department. We're doing these in our faculty meetings. Not to get too off topic here. This is Bleav in education, but we have academy meetings, which I don't know if you guys are on the academy system or not, but we have academies built around our CTE classes, and so in our academies we have our own couple science teachers that belong to our academy. And social studies and English and math. So every academy has representatives from each department in their academy. So we're doing these instructional strategy presentations. And so day before spring break, it's science's turn to go. We meet once a week as an academy. And science department. So our academy science people get up there and they talk about doing their big thing is icebreakers. In science, you have icebreakers. So you can do cool stuff with science, icebreakers and things and observations. And, they talked about how they run their science classes. But this guy's okay, what do you observe? And it's like a candle. And he lit it. He's all right, what do you observe now? So he lit the candle on fire. And then he goes, okay. And he took a bite out of it. He just bit it in half. Everybody's like, what? Come to find out, it was a cheese stick. It was a mozzarella stick. Yeah, it was a cheese stick. But he didn't tell anybody that.
What's crazy? You said icebreaker, so he said, all right, what do you see? I see a candle. And he lit it on fire. Next thing I'm looking at is the wick.
Yeah.
Which, kind of would have gave it away. And how it was melting, I was like, wait a minute. Now you biting aha, you got me.
Yeah. Well, he did it also quick. You didn't know, it all happened like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was awesome. Needless to say, I was like, okay, what do you got to say next? I'm in. I'm in.
I am intrigued.
Okay, I'm in. You got me.
Teach me more, please.
Yeah. So I go week after next, so that'll be fun. But that's going to do it for us, man. That's going to wrap it up for us.
I'm excited about Georgia. Everything that's going on. Spring sports are kicking up. Softball's doing well. And our new coach's era over there. So
just had a huge win over Clemson. Had a walk-off win over Clemson.
It's some great times in Athens. Spring football's coming up. I'm thinking about going down, taking my wife down to the alumni barbecue and going to watch the game. So we're going to party it up.
Party it up in Athens, man. Do it. Do what you do. They have a coaches clinic there starting, I guess, tonight maybe. Kirby Smart's having his annual coaches clinic. Mike Vrabel is the keynote speaker, so that'll be fun if you're attending. I just got back from Naples, so I can't really. We just got back from spring break, so I can't really like jump back into having time off. I think my principal would not enjoy that. So, but yeah, very exciting times in Athens. Finally, for the first time in a long time, you just named the spring sport, and I'm excited about it. That hadn't always been the case. Baseball's always been just kind of like, oh, okay, it's baseball. But
baseball season, but they're doing well. They're doing good. Gymnastics just finished up strong. Women's basketball just finished up strong. We just hired a new coach. Looking for a new coach for women's basketball. Tennis is rolling. Golf is rolling. So I mean, Georgia's producing some awesome product right now. Yeah. We just had Pro Day. So there's that. So it's an exciting time in Athens right now. So I'm excited to see what guys we're going to be talking about next week that stood out to us, after these practices, especially after the bad practice they said they had the other day before the coach Kirby. So
they're all bad.
It's going to be. We all can't have perfect practices like Lincoln Riley.
I know. The greatest practice of all time in the history of football.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see as this thing goes along, and I can't wait for this next football season to come along. And we're here talking about our matchup with Oregon.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be right on us real quick. It's gonna be on us. Before you know it, we'll be talking about media days.
There you go.
So, but that's going to do it for us. That's going to wrap it up. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you find us on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, wherever you find your podcasts. Make sure you check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Our Facebook page is like the page that's growing the most. So that we get 12, 15 new likes per day right now. We're almost up to 1,000 on the Facebook page. The Twitter stuff is growing a little bit, so I'm excited about that. Ravon Sports is a big driver and helping us grow at this moment. So I'm excited to see that. And we got a lot of exciting things coming down the pike. NFL draft talk. We're gonna get Joe DeLeon. I'm going to work on that, getting him on to talk NFL draft and where all these Georgia players fit. And from there, we'll talk G-Day. We'll probably throw in a little bit of Masters. And before I let you go, Tyreek Hill, Matt Ryan, the two biggest trades that happened just recently in the NFL. Deshaun Watson. What do you think about those trades?
I think this football season is going to be rather entertaining, especially with Tyreek going to the Dolphins. You got Devontae Adams going to the Raiders.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill, I think I just said him, but Matt Ryan finally leaving Atlanta after everybody said he sucked, because they were really sad that he left. Atlanta, fans can't make up their mind. They hate him, and then they're sad that he left. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, let's just see what happens. Atlanta just signed Marcus Mariota, which means they have to take a quarterback in the first round. They have to.
They have to.
So it's going to be interesting. I hope Malik Willis. He's a hometown guy. He went to Roswell. Very good player. I hope they're able to get him. I think that'll be good for the team. So it's going to be interesting to see, how this thing whole pans out. Especially with Indy trying to get Julio now too as well.
You reunite them, man. That's what you got to do. Reunite them. Yeah, I'm excited. If you want more If you want more SEC content, check us out. SEC After Dark, that airs every Wednesday night. That's up on the podcast channel as well, Beast of the East. That Israel will get you back in the fold next week. And then of course, our bread and butter right here. And, a show that I'm not on, but Jake is on, Jake Thomas and Stacy Blackwood, our Bama friends, Best of the West. So check them out as well. You'll probably see that streaming on this channel too. So we thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week on the Bleav in Georgia Dawgs podcast on the Bleav Network and Brinks TVs. And we're presented by Betonline.ag. Eat your athletic greens and watch some March Madness, win some money. And we'll see you back here next week, and we'll talk all about it and recap it all and get you ready for the Final Four. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
This is Bleav in Georgia Dawgs podcast on the Bleav Podcast Network.